All right, another ornament in our series. This is going to be a repeat background with just a image on the top, but combined into the border of the ornament. So like all of our other ornaments, we're going to start from our art library. If you missed the video about the art library, there'll be a tag up here that you can click to watch that. And if you missed how we initially set up this ornament, I will leave a tag for that so you can watch that video as well. So there are two separate components that we have to worry about with this ornament. The first one is the back that has a repeating image or letter or word or whatever you want on the back, but it's going to be repeating across the entire ornament. The second part is the front that we're going to put on the front of that or over that repeating array. So we're going to take our ornament here and we're going to duplicate it so that we have two. We'll worry about the front first here. So let's take, what are we doing on the back? W. So let's get a capital W on here and put this to where it is going to be able to repeat on the back. We're going to click on our array. We want enough columns to cover the ornament and enough rows to cover. Now you may or may not like it busy like this. The way that we can change how busy it is by our spacing. So we can increase the spacing on the columns so that they are wider. And then we can also increase the spacing on the rows so that those are taller or there's more space in between each one. And I think that looks pretty good. You can also, on your columns and rows, shift those by half so that it gives it a little more offset, I guess. If you unshift that, everything is going to be straight up and down. And then you can shift by half your columns as well to where every other column will go down by half. So it's up to you what you like. This gives a more diagonal feel to it, I think. This one, it does it, but a little bit less. It doesn't look as diagonal to me. It just looks offset. So we're going to stick with that. And speaking of offset, I want to not engrave the entire ornament, because if I was to engrave the entire ornament, the outside would have little spaces in it, essentially, between two pieces. When we sandwich those together, there will be engravings that you'd be able to see through the sides. So I don't want my engravings to go all the way through. I want to offset the border, and we'll do it by half here. So this is a 1/4 inch border. We'll do it by half, which is an 1/8.125. And then we can delete that inside border. Now I'm going to select the array that we just created, and I'm going to select that offset that we just created. And with both of those selected, I'm going to select down here the Boolean intersect. It'll pull up. Click that, and then that will essentially create within our ornament the repeating background that those will be engraved, and that's all that's going to be engraved. So if we go to our preview here, we can see just the W's will be engraved. If we wanted the inversion of that, or everything but the W's to be engraved, what we can do is create a circle, hold down shift so that it's a perfect circle. Your pointer, select the W's, let's center that, and then we will take that circle, hold down control so it expands from the center, and just go past the W's. Oh, what's going on there? That's a really weird bug. All right, so we just found a bug. It's not working properly. I've done this before. This works. But I'm selecting this circle that we just created. I'm selecting the words that we just made into our engraving, essentially, and I'm trying to center those together, and they're not centering. So a little weird. Anyway, we'll take our circle, and we'll make it to where it looks like it is halfway. I'm using control to go down by a little bit. Hold down control and shift and use your arrows, and that'll really reduce the amount of travel. That looks centered. So again, we'll hold down control, pull out just beyond the W's, and now when you go to engrave this, it's going to engrave everything but the W's. So two different ways to do that. The inverted, I don't really like the way that this looks. It's just too dark for me. But maybe in your particular application, this works better. Hey, I wanted to talk to you for a second about Amazon Business. It's the same as regular Amazon, but it's the business side. You get analytics. If you have multiple people in your shop, you can see spending habits and trends all that good stuff. One-man shop here, so a lot of that doesn't matter to me. But I hooked it up to my regular Amazon, so I get the Prime shipping. I don't get 2-day shipping where I am in Wyoming, but maybe you get same-day shipping where you are in a bigger city or wherever. Prices are a little bit better than regular Amazon too. Not by a ton, but every penny counts when you are running a small business. May or may not be right for you, but there's a link in the description below. Check it out, see if it'll work for you. So I'm going to delete that outside circle. So now that we have our background set up, let's worry about the front part where we have Steamboat connected to the outside of the ornament. So we'll insert Steamboat in here, and we are going to center him inside of this circle. Hopefully this one works. Looks like it worked. Holding down Control and pulling out is going to expand him from the center. And I want to get it to where I have parts of Steamboat on both the top and the bottom protruding past the border here. I think I want him a little bit more. That should be pretty good right there. Prior to that, Control Z to undo that. You can see that little sliver, it would cut that out, and then there would only be this little portion that is holding him on there. We're gonna glue this on, so that's not a big deal, but in order to avoid that, we will just make him bigger, and that works just fine. Now there are two different ways to accomplish this same task here, and this viewer pointed out that I did not talk about joining these together without using the snipping tool, so I'll do it both ways so we can see it. Let's select all of this, Control D to duplicate it. Now we have two exact same going on here. So first and foremost, I have a whole video on the snipping tool. I love this tool, super handy. You can click here to view this. But we're going to select our snipping tool, and then we're just going to snip away the parts. You have to ungroup Mr. Steamboat here, Control U to ungroup him, and then snip away the parts that are intersecting. Now, this is one piece. We can go back, or it will cut out as one piece, but we can go back, select all, Control G, and that's going to group this together. So even these little bits will move around. So that's the first way with the snipping tool. The other way to do this is with your Boolean subtracts. And so we are going to select Steamboat. In this version, you do not need to ungroup. So you can just select your inner piece. Just select your inner piece, and then you can select the ring that you want it to combine with. Go down here to this Boolean subtract. First time, typically doesn't do it the way you want it to. Control Z, let's hit it again. And now you can see it's selected, or it removed the top part and the bottom part that we removed with the snipping tool. It did it for us. So there are two separate ways to take care of the same thing. And now if we hit our preview, we can see that the front part of the ornament is going to cut out. The back part is going to do our repeating double for Wyoming, of course. Glue them together and you're good to go. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you got something out of this, if you wouldn't mind subscribing or liking or sharing, it really helps me out. Also, if I missed something in this video that you think other viewers need to know, or maybe I need to know, I don't know everything, leave a comment below. Let's try and learn this stuff together. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one.